All right, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to use Blender with the grease pencil draw mode in 2D animation mode, and I'm going to use the Lucid Art Camera Lucida with my Huion tablet, drawing tablet, and try to show some of that. So the first thing that I'll look at is starting out with a new 2D animation. So I'll click on that. If you were starting out and you did a new 2D animation, this is what it would look like. When you're in the 2D animation, you have this timeline down here that's set to the first frame as a keyframe, and you have a stroke thing here. What I do to set up when I'm doing a storyboard is I come in and I make this scene, the first scene that it comes to, I make it story panel 1, and then having done that, I go here to full copy and I make this story panel 2, and then I make another full copy and I make this one story panel 3. That's easy to get started with, 3 story panels. And then I make one more new scene just using new, and I call this video editing. Okay, and then that scene I want to go to by adding a video editing window up there. Now I will go to add and add a scene, and there's story panel 1, and it comes in, and then I can move my cursor here and go to, actually I can make this shorter because it's pretty darn long. So let's just go for a few seconds in there, and then add story panel 2 by adding a scene, and add story panel 2 scene there, and then add story panel 3 scene. And you don't have to worry about doing much now because you can change this later, but this gives me 3 possible story panels. Obviously they get longer each one. You can decide how you want to mete out that depending on the animations you put in or do not put in. But we have 3 story panels, oops, that are within the first 250 frames, or the first basically 10 seconds. And of course, nothing happens when you play it because they have nothing on them. So now when you save this, of course, so let's go to Save As and say that this is going to be called Storyboard with Tablet and Camera Lucida. All right, and save that. Now that we have that saved, if I go back in first to 2D animation, then over here and pick my story panel, it's important that you do that because it's going to keep jumping away. If you're stuck in video animation, say, wait a minute, I'm in story panel 1, or I'm in story panel 2, or I'm in story panel 3. What happens? Why is there nothing there? And that's because you go to story panel 1 and you're not in 2D animation, you're still in video editing. So you go to 2D animation and there you are, story panel 1. So then, of course, you can draw stuff. So if I do a little drawing of a squiggle and I move forward in this and I draw again, then this squiggle will onion skin, and then if I go forward and draw something again, I've sort of got an amoeba now that will animate if I play it. And you could say, well, that doesn't animate very well. Well, that's because these keyframes are too far apart. So you can come in like this, and then it'll start doing its amoeboid thing. And you can just keep doing it until you have the amoeba monster that ate the world over 20 frames. And of course, when you do that and you play it, then it moves around. And this is an animation that is clearly 250 frames long, and we don't have 250 frames that we want to do, so I'm going to move that to 20 frames, and then it'll just loop, and then you have this animation. Yay, hooray for that, because when we go to the video editing, well, let's not do that yet. Let's go to story panel 2. We have an empty story panel, and let's do the bouncing ball thing. So I'm going to grab a ball, and I'm going to make the ball here on the horizon, hit enter, and then I'm going to go a few frames forward and I'm going to make the ball here, and then I'm going to go a few frames forward. I have to hit enter for that, and then I'm going to make it go a little higher, and hit enter, and then a few frames for that, and then make it come down, and move it over with G, and hit enter, and then a few frames forward, and we'll make it hit the bottom and squash, and hit enter, and then move it up as it bounces up. Right. And hit enter, and then make it go up again. And what that would give you is a bouncing ball animation where the ball goes up and comes down and it squashes and bounces again. So I'll grab these again, and I'll move them, and grab this and move that, and grab that and move that, and grab this and move that, and grab this and move that, and grab this and move that. And now I have this animation of a bouncing ball. Again, it's too long, so if I grab over here and bring it down to 40 frames, it'll loop, and we have the bouncing ball looping through. All right, that's storyboard panel 2, and storyboard panel 3, maybe I do a box, and on that box I make the box roll over. So I'll go to another frame after I hit enter and come over here, and I'll do another box that looks identical, but then I'll rotate it. If it'll let me rotate, will it let me rotate? Maybe not. No, I can just stretch it. So rotation doesn't seem to be a property of a drawing. I guess, yeah, you can't do that. So it'll just be a box that moves and then goes down. And then I'll move that to here, and we have this advancing box animation where the box goes up and down. All right. Oops, I'll put that in there. There. Okay, so there's this box. Yay, 3 storyboard animations. So now if I go to video editing and go up to video editing here, if I play it, all of nothing seems to happen, and that is because it has to be updated. So I go to update scene, but the frame range, yeah, there it is. Probably just as clean to, there should be, maybe there's a refresh. There's update scene frame range, delete snap, duplicate copy. So probably, let's see if there is a update. Is there an update? Add marker, select. So there's no real update. So we're just as well just putting them back in. So if I go and add now that same scene, story panel 1, and move it, because that now has animation in it, it is now the length of that animation. Similarly, when I come here and I add scene 2, its length of animation, there's that ball you can see there. And then if I add strip scene 3, now I have that animation, and when I play them, it plays my 3 animations. There's my bouncing ball, and there's my squares. Of course, it is too long, and so once again, you can drag the selection window down so that you can get a loop of this, and then you can loop your 3 scenes together. All right, great. So that's how you use a story panel scene. And if you want to just make a storyboard, you would render out the frame that you're on. There's that frame, and then you could save that image to make in a storyboard. Similarly, you could go to any frame in this storyboard, say the ball when it's here, and hit render, and then there's that ball image. So you can do static images that you can render out to literally print out and paste on a storyboard. So there would be that one. Okay, so you can use it that way, or you can use it to make a movie, which they call an animatic, storyboard in motion or animated storyboard. But now I want to do something more sophisticated, so I'm going to go back into Story Panel 1, go to 2D animation, there it is, and I'm going to erase, I don't need any of these images at all. So let me take out this one, and let me take out this one, and take out this one, take out this one, take out this one. And on frame 1, I want to be able to draw something, but I have now my tablet. So let me go and change cameras here to my video capture device is now my USB video. There we are. And here you can see my Huion tablet, which is connected. And if I wanted to start drawing, I can find where the darn cursor goes. Okay, there it is. Okay, so if I wanted to start drawing, I could draw on the tablet. That's one possibility. The other possibility, if I hit undo, is to come in here and use my camera lucida, the Lucy art, and I can see my sun through it. And so I'm going to start, if I can get this to work, see here. Now if I need to really put the light on him, and come into here and see that ghosted image. And for some reason, I'm not on the screen. So maybe I have to click in here and see if that, for some reason, something's funky going on here. Where is that? Why are we over in there? Let's see. Okay, there we are. All right, so that's where I am. So let me go to the eraser and erase that. That's because I'm using dissolve. If I do stroke, then it'll erase entire strokes. Okay, better. So let's go to here now, and that is where I am. And now I'm going to look through the lens and see my son, although it looks like he's way over there. So I have to move this over. There we go. Okay, so let's see. Oops. Okay, try it again. Oh, weird. Weird. All right, wait a minute, let me hit undo. I'm not centered on the, nor am I on stroke. Okay. What is going on with my pen in terms of the configuration? How do I don't want to be in that part of the screen. Is it because I'm zoomed in or out? No. Yeah, once again, we're in the wrong part of the tablet. And I don't know what to do about that because I am on the wrong part of the tablet. Let me zoom out. Zoom in, zoom out. It's not changing anything. It's the alignment of the tablet that is not really good. I wonder if I can fix that by unplugging it and plugging it back in. Oops, I lost my camera. So let's, okay, there's the camera should be, no, the camera hasn't picked up yet. Let me go back to there. That camera, and there's this camera. All right, so I've got that back. Now, in terms of getting this to work with my tablet, plug it and plug the tablet back in and see if that does anything in terms of its registry. Yeah, it all wants to be on the wrong part of the tablet. So I'm really mystified why that is. but if there's a way to move it, it's the tablet. If I sit here, and I wonder what the, because if I draw like this, why is it not registering the tablet? Why is the tablet registered like that? Maybe there's a way to make it smaller or larger. It's definitely on the wrong side of the screen. So, tablet. No. Erase. Flip the tablet over. That side. Can I move the tablet? That's the radius. Minus. It's definitely not aligned on the screen properly. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to move the tablet over. If I point this away to look at the kid and I come over here, the best I could do is move the entire tablet over. Now let's see if that, yeah, there we go. All right, so if I start drawing his head, oopsie, camera fell off. Well, that's embarrassing. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this and figure out how to realign my tablet, and then I'm going to come back because the tablet is not aligned.